Hello and welcome to the solution video for the area codes project. So currently we have this execution flow where if I run this program, so ruby main.rb, it prompts me to see if I want to look up an area code. If I say Y, either lowercase or uppercase, then it continues this loop. But if I say anything else like N or J or anything else, it exits the program. Perfect. So the first thing I need to do is I need to display which cities are available in my dial book once I enter Y here. And if you scroll down, so what I want to do is I want to say puts which city do you want to look up the area code for, ? And after that, I want to call my method getCityNames and print out the list of cities. So getCityNames, and if you look at getCityNames, it takes some hash, meaning a hash, and our hash is dialbook. So I'm going to call the method with dialbook. Okay, so getCityNames dialbook. Now what do we want our method to do? Our method, remember, the objective is to print out the names of the cities, and the names here are the keys in my hash. All of them are keys for individual elements in my hash. Therefore, I can simply return the keys. I can say something like some hash dot keys. And if you remember, the dot keys method simply lists out the keys from a hash. So here's my hash. It gives me all the keys. So I'm going to receive this over here, getCityNames, because this is where I'm calling the method from. But neither this nor this is listing it out to the terminal. In order to do that, I have to print it. So puts getCityNames. Let's run this now. Whoops. Ruby main.rb. Do you want to look up an area code based on a city name? Y. Look up the area code for. I made a mistake. It says undefined local variable, some hash for main object. Whoops, this is not some underscore hash. This is some hash. Okay, let's run this again. I'm gonna clear it up. Ruby main.rb. Y. There you go. It lists out the city names. Perfect. So I'm going to exit out of my program. The next part, now that I've listed out the city names, I want to enter the selection. So enter your selection. And then let's get the input because we want to see what the user wants to look up. So prompt, I'll say equals gets chomp. Okay. Now that I have the prompt, meaning the name of the city, there is a chance that the user enters an invalid city, right? I don't have London, for example, listed here. What if the user enters London? Then I want to be able to say the city name you entered is not in the dictionary. So I'm going to have an if-else clause here. So if, what is the name of our dictionary? It's dialbook. So if dialbook dot include ? Prompt, meaning if dialbook, our dictionary, includes prompt, which is the name of the city, then this is the case where the user has entered an actual city name that exists. We want to do something, so I'll say do something. Else, meaning the user has entered an invalid entry, I want to say puts you entered an invalid city name. Okay? And then of course for if else, I'll have to put an end here to end the block. So let's test this out. If dialbook.include prompt, I'm simply gonna say puts placeholder. All right, let's run this. Do you want to look up area code based on city name? I'll say yes. Okay, let's try Edison. Placeholder. Perfect. So the correct case is working. Now what if I try again? Do you want to look up area code Y? Let's enter London. You entered an invalid city name. Perfect. So that's working as well. I'm going to exit out. Okay. So if it includes prompt, if my city name exists, then I'm going to call this method get area code with some hash and key. I already have my some hash, which is dialbook, and the key is prompt, right? Because prompt exists. We've already tested for this. So I can say put some helpful text, the area code for prompt, which is the city name, is pound, open curly brace. Now here I want to get the output from my method, get area code. So get area code, and I have to give my get area code method some hash and key. So some hash is dialbook and key is prompt. So dialbook prompt, close parentheses, close curly brace, and then close the quote to close out my puts over here. All right. So now that my get area code is already in this put string method, all I need to do is I need to return the value over here. I don't need to put anything. Some hash, which I have the hash passed in, and then the key is the prompt. So some hash key, right? Within square brackets. So in our case, dialbook, some hash, and then the prompt Miami, let's say, is the key. It'll give the value of 305. So there you go. Let's see if this works. Going to say Ruby main.rb. Do you want to look up city name? Yes. Let's say Plainsboro. The area code for Plainsboro is 609. Perfect. That works. If you check here, Plainsboro is 609. Great. Do you want to look up an area code? Another? Yes. Let's try another one. Let's try Palo Alto. Area code is 650. Perfect. Let's look up an invalid one. Let's say Paris. Oh, whoops. This was on my prompt. Mistake. Clear. Let's run this again. Yes. And then I'll say Paris. You entered an invalid city name. Perfect. So let's exit out. Okay, so that's the solution to the homework. I hope you enjoyed building this project. And as you can see, you can take this as a starting template or as a starter template and build out a lot of fun little programs from this, right? Because you have an execution flow, you have some methods, you have a dictionary where you can look things up. What about a little library or a bookstore? You can practice doing that, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this homework assignment. I'll see you in the next video.